Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Coming up here with the Season 4 update in Black Ops 6 and Warzone, we are going to see our next major meta update and weapons update. Of course, it's a new season. This means we've got a bunch of new weapons inbound, both at the launch of the season and then throughout it as well, with different events, the mid-season update, etc. We also have some new aftermarket parts, some new conversion kit mods coming into the game as well. So today, wanted to break down and preview the entirety of the new weapons update coming to Season 4, and a little bit of what to expect with the general meta update that'll be happening with the patch notes as well. So as we do go through all the weapon updates, meta details, everything to expect here, if you enjoy the video, you find the information helpful, a like rating is always seriously appreciated. Much love to everyone who takes the time to do so. And if you're new to the channel, perhaps you have not subscribed yet, we should change that. Each and every single day, we are covering everything going on in COD, whether it's news, updates, patch notes, meta breakdowns, it's all right here. So feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications, and help get us one step closer to reaching 1 million subscribers. But first up here, we do have a couple of new battle pass weapons. Surprise, surprise, this happens every single season. These will be available for free in their respective categories. First up here, we've got the LC-10, a new SMG. This is going to be available on Battle Pass page 3, so pretty early on. There's also a page 14 blueprint. Getting either of those will end up getting you the weapon that you can use and customize there. Of course, the LC-10, an option that we've seen before, and this is how they describe it: a full auto SMG, excellent accuracy and range with a moderate rate of fire, average mobility, and very slow handling for its class. So a little bit of a slower SMG option compared to some more run and gun options that we've got. However, it's probably going to be a little bit more effective out into the mid-range. So I'm already looking at this as a potential sniper support choice here. Depending on the true damage in the first damage range, could be pretty good if you kit it out based around mobility a little bit more, focusing on some rear grips for some sprint to fire, ADS, so on and so forth there. They also say returning after its debut in Cold War, the LC-10 SMG spits out rounds fast, coupled with good accuracy and range, moderate damage, and a quick reload to get you back into the fight. The weapon performs well off the hip or down sights, with 34 rounds in the base magazine for a hefty ammo supply. Via Gunsmith, equip a variety of improvements, such as a laser for improved hip fire spread and updated barrel to further extend the weapon's respectable damage range. So again, just kind of furthering my assumptions on this gun already, but that is going to be the LC-10, like I said, available for free in the Battle Pass. Next up, we've got another classic one here, the FFAR, also returning. Of course, this was an icon back in Warzone 1. Those FFAR and Car 98K loadouts, some of my all-time favorites. Such a fun meta. I hope it's similar to that this time around. This again is going to be available in the Battle Pass, originally in page 6. There's also an HVT tier blueprint on page 11 as well. For this one, they describe it as a full auto assault rifle, very high rate of fire and excellent CQB power, but slower handling and mobility. Boasting a blazing fast fire rate that rivals the SMG weapon class, this bullpup assault rifle is designed for taking down targets fast. The somewhat unpredictable recoil favors burst fire when tackling distant targets, but once you've locked on, it's all over for them. Supporting a variety of underbarrel launcher attachments, use Gunsmith to add greater versatility to the weapon. I don't know if anyone's going to be doing that one necessarily. Running low on ammo, grab an extended mag while you're at it. So seems like it's going to be relatively similar to that of the FFAR from Warzone 1. I imagine it's going to be a decent sniper support choice, especially if you can, throw on a few attachments to speed it up a little bit and make it a tad bit more aggressive here. I'm most curious about the control. They say it's a little bit unpredictable. Hopefully it's not too bad that it can actually be a versatile rifle instead of exclusively being, a sniper support sort of niche weapon. Hopefully we could, kit it out for sniper support, some mid-range, some long range, and still be effective regardless. Obviously, we're gonna have to wait and see for the full feel of it, but certainly keeping my eye on this one. I'm very much so excited to revisit the FFAR. Next up here, we've got the Essex Model 07. This is going to be a new marksman rifle, and this will be available through an event. I believe the event itself is starting like a week after the launch of the season, so it'll be available pretty early on into Season 4. And here's how they describe the Essex, which if you've played COD previously, you'll remember this one as well. This is a lever action marksman rifle, high damage potential, balanced by a slower rate of fire and slower handling. Inflict heavy critical point damage, so it's going to have like high damage to the head, the upper body. I would take from that. That's essentially how I'd interpret that. An ideal tool for the new sheriff in town. This classic armament offers smooth handling with shots that quickly recenter after kicking up. Choose from a variety of levers to further customize the weapon's action, improving ADS speed, sprint to fire, and other movement abilities. We obviously saw this back in Black Ops 4. I could also see it, playing very similar to like a carbine MK2. Is that what it was called from Modern Warfare 2019? Little lever action there. I would be very surprised if this one is a true meta option, at least in Warzone. Maybe it's more usable in multiplayer, zombies, whatever, right? But in Warzone, I feel like the damage would have to be pretty crazy for it to be, a worthwhile option. But you never know, they might break it and incentivize playing the event and getting that reward. Wouldn't put it past them to do that by any means. Next up here, we've got the special weapon known as the Olympia. This is going to be with the mid-season update, and it's also going to be a new event reward as well. Of course, the Olympia, we know this as a classic shotgun in Call of Duty. It's a double barrel shotgun, very high damage and respectable range, but requires frequent reloading. Of course, you don't have many shots there in a double barrel. The double barrel Olympia, not seen since Black Ops 3, makes its debut and return in Black Ops 6, returning as a special weapon that makes for a perfect backup when entering tight spaces. So they're not actually classifying this as a shotgun. It'll be a special weapon like the nail gun, like the Siren 9mm. Kind of interesting there, it seems. The Olympia holds 2 shots at a time, each spraying multiple pellets when your operator pulls the trigger. Light customization via the short barrel and cutoff stock attachments give you some control over the weapon's playstyle, but the fundamentals remain the same. Get up close and make your shots count. Fire down the sight for a tighter pellet spread or shoot off the hip to inflict damage over a wider area. This one's going to be a toss-up as far as meta competitiveness goes. Maybe it's going to be broken like the Lockwood 720 or whatever up close, right? Maybe it's just going to be a pea shooter. It's going to be entirely dependent on its damage values there that we don't have quite yet, but could be a hit or a miss. I don't really think there's an in-between. It's probably going to be really strong, really borderline broken, or probably just a gimmick. We're going to have to wait and see, of course. And then the last full new weapon here, a little bit more basic. It's going to be a mid-season reward as well, and this is the Pickaxe Melee. Going to be an event reward here too. It's a one-hit kill, medium attack speed with short range there. It's a pickaxe, not too out of the ordinary. We've seen similar things in the past, and it's a melee weapon at the end of the day, right? So very, definitive niche that it's filling there. Nothing too crazy. Now, beyond the full new weapons, we do also have some new special weapon attachments, ammo mods, conversion kits, aftermarket parts, however you want to refer to them as. We've actually got a handful of them this season, so they've got a little graphic for it. We'll detail each one. There's the G grip, which will be available on all SMGs except for the PP19, and then all assault rifles as well as a part of the battle pass. And they say with this is a vertical foregrip with an integrated laser for improved firing stability, horizontal recoil, and tightened spread when transitioning between hipfire and ADS. It's got a blue beam and blocks laser attachments. So a laser and an underbarrel in one. Gonna be interesting. Obviously, if it's boosting stats a lot, could be a meta pick there for sure. We also have the Strider 22 3-round burst mod coming at launch as an event reward. This one is a bit more self-explanatory. It takes the Strider 22 pistol and turns it into a 3-round burst. Really big surprise there, I know, right? The preview image for it looks hilarious though, with the large magazine on there. Next up, we have one that I'm terrified of, the SVD full auto mod. You guys know I do not like the SVD. It's probably my least favorite gun in the game. Actually, the Sarkov is my least favorite gun, but I'm also not an SVD fan. If this full auto goes crazy, I'm gonna be, reluctantly using it as a meta choice, but it converts the SVD from a semi-auto to a full auto functional weapon, ramping up the speed of your damage output and drastically improving recoil and handling. Like, wouldn't be surprised if it actually ends up being pretty decent here. And then we also have the TR2 CQB auto conversion coming in season. Alter the TR2 marksman to fire handgun caliber rounds, resulting in a marksman with a compact frame and fully automatic capabilities that rival fire rates of an SMG. So it's basically the TR2 as an SMG. Could be pretty crazy in the close range. I can't imagine the actual range on it will be great, but could be pretty good for the ultra close range. So as far as new armaments go, new weapons, ammo mods, we've got a lot to look out for here in season 4. But of course, that's not the only weapon update coming with season 4. We also have a general meta update and weapon balancing happening as well. As of right now, they have not detailed anything here in specific. We won't have the exact values, the various different buffs and nerfs until the season 4 patch notes drop. And of course, when they do, I'm gonna be covering them right as they surface, so stay tuned for that. But a few things just to look out for. Usually every season, half season, I preview this stuff, and typically we're pretty spot on. Of course, with season 3 Reloaded, we ended up seeing the start of a trend where they attacked a lot of MW2 and MW3 options, and they ended up buffing a lot of those to make them more competitive, to bring them closer in line with the Black Ops 6 guns. And it was a relatively successful, update, bringing things like the M4, the TAC-56, the MX-9, the P90 or the PDSW up into the competitive area. Definitely offered some diversity, but there is still a distinct difference in a lot of Black Ops 6 guns versus those older guns. So I imagine that they maybe dabble a bit more in that, buffing a few other options just to see if they can create some more parity in the general meta there. There are obviously some very strong standouts right now. I mean, the Krig is clearly the #1 rifle. The HDR is clearly the #1 sniper. The C9 is clearly the #1 SMG. I would rather not see those things nerfed, but rather other competitors in that category, or in those categories rather, buffed. I would love to have more than one really solid infinite one-shot headshot sniper rifle, whether it's the Kar98K, so we can revisit the Kar98K FFAR meta loadout combinations, or if it's some other main snipers, the LR762, the Frostline, extending those out some, just so the HDR has some level of competition. I feel like the close range is honestly pretty solid. The long range, though, is a little bit more definitive. There's a very few select options there that are clearly, above the rest of the field, if you will. So we're obviously, like I said, going to get the full details on all the weapon changes and meta updates here in the next few days. Be on the lookout for that. I'll be covering that and everything else going on with the Season 4 update right as it happens. So if you want to make sure you're in the know, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, a like rating on your way out would be seriously appreciated as well. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.